Hi guys, it's April and we're here to find out which of the proposed next color images has actually become the next color image. So I put out a poll over on the community tab. I guess it's not even called community tab anymore. It's just a post over here on YouTube. And then I also did a poll on my Threads channel and no, not my Threads channel, my Instagram channel, and then over on Threads. And I combined all those votes together and had some interesting results. Now, I will quickly show you which images were up for vote in case you didn't see any of those. But the first one, option A, was this adorable little bunny underneath a stack of books, and it's got an Alice in Wonderland kind of vibe, because I mean, we've got Alice, we've got Lewis, we've got Voyage, we've got White Rabbit, a monocle, and it's got this snowy wintry feel to it as well, so I threw it in there. I was going for some of the winter feels. The second one, which I questioned my sanity as I put this in, this crystal polar bear. I have put this to vote a couple times before. I mean, it's usually around this time of year where I'm like, oh, this would be an interesting one to do. Should I do this one? The crystals, I mean, I've got an interesting history with coloring in crystals, but I still thought it would be fun because it's one of the images I do want to do in this coloring book at some point. I'm going to turn up brightness a little bit because we are losing light just a touch. And then the last two were in this posh coloring book. I have been on and off trying to start a page in this book. This might have to be a kind of personal project book at some point because there are some images that I think would be really fun to do. But I don't think it's that popular of a book in the coloring community. But I had this winter mouse that is just the sweetest looking thing that I thought would be fun to do. And then I had these deer. Now, I will admit, this mouse picture is probably the one that drew me in the most, that started the trend of what all of the images were going to be for this voting round. Sadly, neither of these two images are what we are going to be coloring next. Like I said, I might have to make this like a personal project book. Maybe if I have time this year, I'll do some coloring off stream and maybe start that back up where I just upload a recorded coloring session, but not necessarily a live recorded session. So this book is going to be put to the side. The polar bear is also not the winner, which is I'm kind of thankful for because I want to do crystals, but I don't want to do crystals, which means we have this coloring page right here. And so as I was thinking about what I wanted to do for this page, I was getting some of like those, hi Albus, welcome. I was starting to get some of those like wintry vintage vibes, so I pulled out my color cubes and I started to look through those, trying to decide what kind of color palette would make sense for these. Because like I said, the books are giving me like this vintage feel, but I want to keep that woodlands winter vibe as well. And so I pulled out a whole bunch of these color options, and they almost play well together, because I'm almost leaning to combining these to get the final picture, but I do kind of like some of these, the like brightness. So like I said, this might just be like the mood board I'm going for this picture, and then combining, because these two colors could be one color. It's just different shades of the same color. You see what I'm saying? And then this color palette would be the base for what I want to do for this image. I don't know. What are your thoughts? I do want to lean a little into like the green grays, because that just, it makes sense, and we can get that wintry vibe. And I did pick up a few of these Caran Brush Marker Pros that I think I'm going to use for the base. I'm actually going to sit down with you today and color swatch out all of the ones that I have, because I don't have a color chart for these yet. But I also have these Cure Color markers that I don't have the full set. These are actually relatively expensive because you have to get them out of Japan, and I haven't found any place that sells them here. I haven't looked recently. This is actually from a couple years ago I started collecting these. But I'm thinking about combining the Cure colors I have with the Caran markers I have for the base of this photo, and then we can come back with colored pencils like I normally do. I swear I had a color chart of my Cure colors at one point, but for the life of me, I cannot find it. Hold on, I'm gonna check. One more place where it might be purely by accident. But I'm starting to think that it got misplaced somewhere, and I am never going to see it again. And I'm going to have to make a new one. Yes, I have zero idea where that color chart is. Oh my gosh. Okay, Elvis, I'm gonna need you to get out of the way. I don't think I'm going to do that with you today, because I swear I have one, an actual color chart that I can print out and color in. Yeah. And that's what I thought it looked like. I don't know why I can't find where it's at. So maybe I will do that later this week. Completely fill in that color chart, because I have a good handful of those. Because, I mean, I just pulled out my browns to show you, because it kind of fit in with the color scheme. And I've only got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15? 15 of the Carans. I don't know. I was like, I literally have zero idea where I put that color chart, and it's driving me nuts. I don't know if you guys ever do things like that. Okay, I'm gonna put this off to the side real quick because where did I? Oh, there it is. So these are the Karens I have. I can probably zoom you in. Not with that remote. Now I kept seeing these Karens like everywhere, and the brush on them is just lovely looking, and I like the fact that you can see the ink inside. And I kept telling myself, I'm like, you already have so many alcohol-based markers. Do you really need another one? And I finally just caved. Just gonna call it Brush Pro. And this is 226. But I really do like the way, because I mean it does have a feel a little bit, or the same kind of control that a Copic brush has. And this is 375. My concern, however, is I don't know if I picked up any that's gonna fit the vintage vibe. Which is why I wanted to swatch these out real quick. Because right now I got all of like the super vivid colors. And those are usually what I'm drawn to first, so it's really not that surprising. And that looks more like an orange to me, not a red. Okay. Lifta. Sorry, I had to get the dog settled on the chair. He wasn't gonna let that pass. There's something about new pens when you're doing swatches. And how juicy they are. Yeah, I don't. Watch as soon as I'm done with this stream. I find that silly color chart. This is what, 166? There's also something like oddly relaxing about making these. I really shouldn't talk while I'm writing. It's only going to end in badness. This is 377. Ooh, I love that color. $6.54. So far, not having much luck. It's a nice, like, cyan color. They call it cool aqua. It's 204. I feel like I'm slowly walking off the camera. So it looks like I will not be using the Karens for this photo. I'm going to stick with the cool colors. Cure colors. Why did I say cool colors? Because this color right here is Egyptian blue, but the one that, the cool aqua, I think is still stuck in my brain. And I do have, like I said, I have a wider selection of those. I've got maybe 40 or so of the colors. These are just a little too vivid. That'll be great when we hit the summertime and we're doing flowers and such. Could maybe use this brown, but I'm pretty sure this is the same brown I have in the Cure colors. So okay, this last one is just a blender, so I'm not going to make a card for that one. But like I said, the brown is probably the only one I could, like, because that's nearly that color right there. But like I said, I think These two are the same. No, they're not. They're actually different browns. They just look the same. So those are all different browns. Okay, we'll quickly swatch these brown ones just so I can confirm that I have something similar. See, this brush tip is squatter and fatter than what I just used here. And it's almost like they're kind of the same, but not really, because the feel is different. But if you were to stop right here, you'd get like this brush. And that point on these ones really makes you think that maybe you can get into some of those fine areas. Okay. See if I can spell cure color right. And this one is 769. I don't know why I wrote that so high up. Sort of matches that. But what I like about the cure colors, which I don't see in most of the other ones, is you've got the small bullet nib on the opposite side of the brush. And these are the two types of nibs I mostly use. I mostly use the brush, but sometimes a very fine bullet is very helpful. I never use a chisel tip. And there are some of the older Copic that I have modified so that it's got that bullet nib and the brush. $7.84. I mean, I might keep that brown and maybe the black out, because I don't know if I have black in the cure color. But I don't think any of those really super bright ones are gonna fit into what I'm thinking about doing. That's almost orange. Okay. So my guess, we're definitely not going to need any of the pinks or purples. We kind of talked about blues and greens, yellows, and orange red. But I don't think we have anything that's nearly that bright. Like I said, that brown goes pretty well, but you could almost argue the cure color is better. We do have this one, but the cure color kind of matches that pretty well. Here, I mean, the green is a darker. We've got some reds and blues here, but like I said, they're a muted tone. They're not these like bright, vivid colors. So I'm gonna put all these away. And then think over the coming weeks, so I don't drag this out too long. I'm going to start, first of all, I'm going to swatch the rest of my cure colors. So I can decide if I've got enough of the right colors in the cure colors to do some of these muted colors. I'm guessing I do. I mean, just sitting here and staring in that direction of the toe area that they're sitting in, I think I'm going to have some decent colors. I mean, just in the browns alone, I could do some fun things. But I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to continue to look for that color swatch wherever the heck it may be. I will let you know if I find it. Thank you for sticking around, even though I kind of went off in a random direction. I got new markers and I had to swatch them out, and you were You were my excuse to do it just right this very second. So thank you for that. I do hope I will see you when we actually start the page and have decided like what we're actually doing color-wise. So come back next weekend to see that. I do hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I heart your beautiful faces. Bye.